Welcome back. It is Monday, January 29th in the NBA, the start of a new week. My 5 best NBA picks are on the way. Let's recap how we did on Sunday. A 2-1 day in the NBA, did go 3-1 in the NFL, so not a bad day for our NFL picks. Obviously, our next NFL video will be in the Super Bowl. But let's start with the NBA. We had Jaren Jackson Jr.'s under 31.5 points, pretty sweat-free. And then we had the one winner, I kind of put an asterisk on it because it was Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, same game parlay to score 20-plus points. Obviously, Barrett did not end up playing. Scotty did come through, but it was like minus 250 as a winner. So, really a 1.5 day, but we'll take the plus 0.4 units. Certainly better than losing that full unit. Then Nikola Vucevic did not get us the sweep we wanted. He ended with, I believe, 14 points. But we'll take a 2-1 day. I'm feeling really confident about today's slate of picks. There's a very good chance I do add a player too. We have an action-packed card. I didn't count how many games are on, but I think almost every single team is in action almost tonight. So probably add a couple added plays down below in the pin comments. So definitely check that out. I'll try to get those live early on in the afternoon, but let's dive into today's picks. We got a bunch of them. Let's dive in. If you are new, like I said, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, drop a like too. Let's dive in. The first one, my best bet of the day, a 1.5 unit play. Chris Middleton, over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists, minus 120 on DraftKings. We're playing this for 1.5 units. Now, 1.5 unit plays, I feel like have been cursed this year. I don't know my record on them. 2 unit plays are doing great, but 1.5 units just haven't gone through. But I really feel like Chris will deliver, and this would have been a 2 unit play if, January wasn't a cold month for us. I don't want to force more units than we have to, but I really like Chris Middleton. He's my best bet of the day. Now, let's talk about Chris, who obviously did come through for us in his last game when he played on Friday. He did not play in their next game on Saturday as it was a back-to-back, and he doesn't really play back-to-backs. But let's talk about that last game. He came through for us, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 30 PRAs on 5 of 16 shooting, 31% from the field in 36 minutes. 36 minutes, I put that in exclamation points because that's the most minutes he's played this season. And so it showed, hey, he's off a minutes restriction on, the one he plays. And obviously on a back-to-back, he'll probably be on a minutes restriction or heck, not even play. But that was by far his most minutes. Didn't even shoot well, but piled up the stat sheet, which is what he's capable of doing. And I really think this is a good spot to back him. And we could see them with the new head coach tonight. Doc Rivers, I believe, is expected to but coach tonight for the Bucks. I don't really think it makes a big difference here because I like Middleton's matchup the most in Denver against the Nuggets. Now, you look at the Nuggets, they're a good defensive team, but they have 2 really good defenders, Aaron Gordon and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Well, those 2 guys are going to go out there and guard Damian Lillard, will be KCP's matchup, and Aaron Gordon will be Giannis. Now, obviously, stopping Giannis is a whole other equation, but I really don't like the matchup for Dame or Giannis tonight. And I think Chris likely gets defended by Michael Porter Jr., and I'll take that matchup any day of the week. I think Chris can go out there and dominate, and I think that's a matchup they try to exploit. We've seen Chris, like I said, 26.5 is just a low line if he's getting his minutes. Like I said, 36 minutes in the last game. If he even gets close to 36 minutes tonight, probably clears this line pretty easily. But Chris has played 13 games this season with 30 or more minutes with Damian Lillard and Giannis active. In those games, averaged 30.6 PRAs. He's gone over the line at 11 of 13, and one miss, was on the hook with 26. Chris has also played pretty well against the Denver Nuggets in his career. Obviously, you don't really want to read too hard into these stats because obviously those did not include Damian Lillard on their team, but last year versus Denver, he had 26 PRAs in only 29 minutes, didn't shoot the ball too well. And then in the last 5 games with at least 28 or more minutes versus Denver, he's at 26 that last game, then 29, 30, 49, and 35 PRAs. So he's played well against them, but don't read too hard into those numbers. I just think this is a good matchup for him. Don't love Giannis matchup. Don't love Damian Lillard matchup. This should be a fast-paced game. Wouldn't be surprised if they're losing too, as the Nuggets have been a really good home team, but I don't see the Nuggets getting blown out. And hopefully the Bucks can keep it close on the road. They're not on a back-to-back, so hopefully everyone's legs are under them. And I really do think this is a good spot to back Chris Middleton. So 1.5 units on his over, 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Hard to pick an individual line for Chris. It would be his points, but like I said, last game he had 14 points, still easily cleared this line because he had 8 rebounds and 8 assists. So definitely be a little bit cautious. I really would prefer PRAs more than anything for Chris Middleton. But that's my best bet of the day. Now, my second pick is going to be a guy that we faded yesterday. Today we are not fading him. It's Jaren Jackson Jr. I like his over 29.5 points plus assists, minus 120 on BetMGM. Now, like I said yesterday, and I would play this at 30.5 for Jaren, whereas we'll abbreviate to JJJ, which I'll probably say J about 40 times over the next few minutes. I really like Jaren, though, tonight. I think this is a good spot to back him. Now, obviously, yesterday we did fade Jaren, and we'll talk about it. They put his points line up to 31.5. Obviously, if you need an individual line, points is the way to go for Jaren. But I like the points plus assists, and I'll talk about why. Because his points line was about 26.5, 27.5. Points plus assists at 29.5, I think is a steal. Now, in that game, Jaren scored 25 points, only shot 7 for 17, did get to the free throw line 12 times where he's a good free throw shooter, and he had 4 assists. He only played 32 minutes, so missed a couple minutes, typically plays about 35 to 36. But he dealt with a little bit of foul trouble. Now, obviously, there's several ways Jared could go under this line, and I talked with him yesterday. If he shoots poorly, it's going to be tough to hit the line like this. If this game's a blowout, it's going to be tough. And if this game's, a game where maybe he gets into foul trouble, which can happen for Jaren, then he's probably going to go under. But I think this is a really good spot to back him and the Grizzlies back at home taking on the Kings. Obviously, the Kings are a very good team, and haven't been as good as this year as they were last year, but still a good team. They could blow out the Grizzlies. That wouldn't surprise me. I think the Grizzlies will fight hard though at home, and even if it is a back-to-back, I really think Jaren can deliver. We've seen over his last 5 games, Jaren has had 31, 32, 18 against the Heat, 32 and 29 points plus assists. So he's gone over in 3 of 5. Obviously, last game he did go under on the hook. In that one game against the Heat, he didn't play well. But the reason I'm attacking on the assists is he's averaged 7.3 potential assists per game. They're playing through him. And his field goal attempts plus free throw attempts combined have averaged to be 28.2. I mean, you look at by game, 27, 25, 26, 34, and 29 field goal attempts plus free throw attempts. So, look, they're playing through him a lot in the half court, and they're basically saying, hey, go get us a basket. And that's what he's doing. He's going out there and shooting. Obviously, he's not, a volume scorer that you would be used to seeing, but I think the volume is too high for this line. Personally, I feel like Jaren's line for points should be about 28.5. Points plus assists should be closer to about 31.5, 32.5. We're getting a discount here given that he didn't play, too well yesterday, dealt with a little bit of foul trouble, but I think this is a game that he can dominate. If he shoots even close to 50%, probably goes over. I really do think this is a good spot for him. I don't think Sabonis can guard him personally, and I think this is a good spot to back him. Just stay out of foul trouble, keep the game close, and I'll take my chances here. If he wants to go out there and brick every shot, fine, but the volume should be there. I really do think this is a good spot to back him. The Kings obviously top 11 in pace. So really like you, Jaren. Go dominate over 29.5 points plus assists, minus 120. Like I said, if you need an individual line, points is obviously the one to go with, but there is a chance Jaren goes out there and gets you a 5 assists. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So if you got like 25 and 5, that's certainly possible. I mean, yesterday you had 25 and 4. But let's move on to some unders. We got 2 unders today, and then we'll finish the video off with an over. Just a reminder, if I do add a play, check the pinned comment so you don't miss out on that. I'll obviously tweet it out or post it on X at Calling Our Shot. Make sure you follow us there. First under of the day is going to be Jared Allen, the Fro. Under 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists, PRAs, minus 120 on FanDuel. I would take this at 30.5 as well. Now, let's talk about Jared Allen, who we've taken some overs with him, taken some unders with him. It is Jared Allen. You never know what you're going to get. Now, in 22 games this season with Evan Mobley out. So without Evan Mobley, Allen is still under this line in 13 of 22 games, 59%. However, he is over in 2 straight games with 38 and 39 PRAs versus Milwaukee. Now, it's worth noting, 19 and 20 field goal attempts. If Jared Allen shoots a 19 times tonight, we're going to lose. But will Jared Allen do that again? Very, very unlikely. I just don't. Jared Allen is not that high of a field goal attempt guy. And I just said those stats without Evan Mobley, scheduled to return tonight is Evan Mobley. Now, obviously, he'll be on a minutes restriction. I'm not expecting Evan Mobley to come in here, play 35 minutes out the gate. I expect him to play about 20 to 24 minutes. But still, Evan Mobley being there, better than him not being there. He's the guy that obviously splits a lot of time with Jared Allen and maybe comes off the bench and eats into a little bit of Allen's minutes. But if he's playing 20 minutes, they're going to have to overlap somewhat. And if they don't, they only play, Jared Allen 28 minutes, I'll take that too. But obviously, if Evan Mobley does not play, which could happen, he was cleared to return. It is reported that he will return tonight. Obviously, he could not play. That could happen. Something could happen in pregame warmups, or maybe we'll keep you off. But I still don't I just talked about Jared Allen's stats without Evan Mobley. He still was hitting. I just don't think he's going to hit with Evan Mobley in there. And even if he doesn't, not a great matchup. Last 30 games, Clippers, 8th fewest points per game, 5th fewest rebounds per game. And they have allowed the 8th most assists per game to centers. It's not like the difference between a top assist team, to centers and the bottom is a big difference. I still do think this is not Jared Allen. I think the difference between his points and rebounds and PRAs was 4. So he has to get 4 assists to make it equal. Obviously, he's capable of that, but I don't like this matchup for him. And while there was a lot of games with Ivica Zubac is obviously out tonight, and they got Plumlee in there, I'm still not, deterred away from Plumlee. He's an okay defender. He can do his thing. And I think it's mostly their defense, how they do it. They just don't give up a ton of points in the paint. They're going to make you knock down some shots. They, don't play at the fastest pace. It's a lot of methodical offense too. And James Harden's probably going to try to search for some defensive fixes. And he's going to try to get Jared Allen on him, try to work the defense like that. So I really don't like Jared Allen tonight. I think the under is the right side to be on. So give me his under 31.5 PRAs, minus 120 on FanDuel. I take it at 30.5 as well. Evan Mobley, I hope you dominate if you do return tonight. And Jared Allen, I hope you miss every shot. But I just think his lines are a little bit too high after two high volume games against the Bucks. Now my fourth play is going to be the most decisive and divisive pick that we have on the channel today. And a lot of people, you don't have to tail this one if you don't have to, because it is jumping in front of a buzzsaw. The buzzsaw that I'm jumping in front of today is Devin Booker, taking his under 30.5 points, minus 115 on BetMGM. This was 31.5. The line bumped down to 30.5. I'll take it there. I would take this at 29.5. Now, let's talk about Booker. Like I said, I am jumping in front of the Booker buzzsaw right now because he is on a scorching run. However, every scorching run has to come to an end. That's just how basketball works. And you've seen Booker in the last three games, 46, 62, and 44 points. He's obviously cleared this line in all three of those. He shot 74%, 60%, and 65% versus Dallas, Indiana, and Orlando. Sure, give credit where credit's due. Devin Booker's been on one. Now he goes on a back-to-back in Miami to face a team in the Miami Heat that has lost 6 straight games. They are favored tonight by about 3.5 points, so it wouldn't surprise me if they won. And they're going to come out here and they're going to try their best because, dang, they've lost 6 straight games. You better believe that defense is going to be amped up. I don't even want to imagine what their practices have been like since their last loss to the Knicks. But obviously, Booker could continue to go on a scorching run. That wouldn't, it is Devin Booker. If he wants to continue to go berserk, that could happen. However, I don't like the matchup. It is very difficult to score against the Miami Heat. And typically, I feel like the Heat would be like, all right, we're going to take away Kevin Durant. However, it's pretty clear that Devin Booker is the one that's running this offense right now. They're going to put their number one guys on defense on D-Book. They're going to make him make tough shots. That's my not-so-bold prediction. He's going to have to make tough shots. And I just think, hey, if you're going to have to make tough shots, good luck against the Miami Heat, one of the best defenses in the league this season. 46 games played for the Heat. Only 10 players have scored over 30.5 points. And a lot of them actually have not been the number one option. They don't allow a lot of number one options to go over this line. And actually, a lot of these guys are ending with, 31, 32 points. Heck, I think 6 of those guys ended with 31 or 32. Now, we've talked about Booker before. Obviously, he could score 32 points against anyone. This is Devin Booker. And we saw the matchup on January 5th. Booker, 20 points versus Miami. Durant did not play in that game. Booker's last 6 versus Miami, 23, 12, 26, 23, 25, and 20 points. Over the last 10 games, Miami have also allowed the third fewest free throw attempts. You think about how Booker's going to score a lot of points. Obviously, he's going to nail some mid-range shots, nail a couple three-pointers maybe. He didn't make a 3 last game, maybe only 1 last night. But he's not. I just don't see them giving up a lot of free throw attempts here. And if he's not getting a ton of free throw attempts, you're making tough baskets. And at the end of the day, I'll tip my cap if he wants to go over this line. It's tough to score over 30 against the Miami Heat, one of the best defenses in the league. They're probably going to put Haywood Highsmith, a very good, top defender, against him. Bam Adebayo will be there to help on every single, drive. And I just think this is a tough spot to back Devin Booker. And even if Kevin Durant's out there, he could get cooking. And Durant's basically been a no-show the last few games because he's been like, all right, D-Book's cooking. Heck, I'll go back on defense. I think that we're going to see them play a lot of tough defense. Obviously, Booker's capable of scoring over this line. I just trust the data in the matchup. I'll take his under 30.5 points. And my 5th and final play of the day, I saved it for 5th, but I really do like this play. The reason I saved it for 5th is there is a chance this guy does not play. It is Mike Conley. I like his over 9.5 points, minus 125 on DraftKings. I played to about minus 135. I don't really want to take 10.5 points for Mike Conley. I like to get that milestone number, so get that if you can. There is a chance, though, Conley does not play. Like I said, he did miss last game with a hamstring injury, so if he does not play, no harm, no foul. We get our money back. I'd rather him not play than go out there and maybe play like a limited minutes restriction, which could happen, but I really don't think that's going to happen. If he plays, he's playing his normal minutes. Now, obviously, Conley in here, if he doesn't play, like I said, we get our money back and check the pin count if we add some plays. But yesterday, the Thunder, who they will take on tonight, lost outright to the Pistons. That is just a neck. That's unacceptable. You can't be losing as 12.5, 13-point favorites. They rested basically their starters the whole second half. Head coach Mark Daignault, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He basically benched the guys. He was like, yo, you guys just sucked. And I'm not playing. SGA didn't play in the 4th. Chet didn't play like 4 minutes in the second half. He basically benched the guys and said, unacceptable. We'll take this loss on the chin as a learning experience. And I think they're going to step up defensively. What the Thunder have historically done well against is actually Karl Anthony Towns. He's really stunk against them. And Ant-Man has really struggled against this Thunder defense. And in turn, I think they need the other guys to step up. So I think Mike Conley is the guy that has a good game. Now, you look at on the season, Conley's averaging 10.9 points per game this season. So this line's below his normal average. He has that scored 10 plus points going over in 20 of 38 games, 53% of the time. And he has that 8 plus points in 28 of 38 games with 74% of the time. Now, all the stats that I provide here are going to be including Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. I do not want to give you stats where one of the number 1 or 2 options don't play. That's just irrelevant. So Ant-Man and Cat, they're in for all these stats. Obviously, if one of them gets ruled out, heck, we like it even more. But you see Conley finishing pretty close to the line. Obviously, 8 points doesn't get us anything tonight. But Conley, in 3 games versus OKC this season, he has scored 9, 17, and 3 points. So going over in only 1 game. However, look at the field goal attempts. 1 game he shot 3 for 14. Another one when he scored 17, he shot 6 for 10. And then 1 for 11 in their last game. So he attempted 10 plus field goal attempts in all 3 games. If you tell me Conley attempts 10 shots tonight, I would take, if you told me, if you locked it and say Conley shooting 10 times, I'd probably put 1.5 units on this, or maybe 2 units. Because this, historically, if a guy's shooting 10 times, he's probably going to score 10 points. As he just happened to shoot 21% and then 9% versus them. But you've seen this season, Conley is over this line 14 of 21 games with 8 or more shots. Like I said, he's shooting 10 times. When he gets the 10 attempts, he's over this line in 7 of 9, and both the misses did come against OKC. You look at his other props, Conley's 2 plus 3-pointers made, minus 200. They're pretty confident he hits 2 threes. When he's hit 2 threes, which he's done in 26 games, over this line in 17 of 26. And you think about it, he's already got 2 threes, probably got 6 points, only needs 4 more. So I really think this is a good spot to back Mike Conley over 9.5 points. A low line, but I think the shots are going to be there tonight as Ant-Man and Cat probably struggle. And we just kind of have to hope Mike Conley actually plays. If he doesn't play, like I said, we'll get our money back. But I think he plays tonight. Got last game, missed that one, had several days off. Mike Conley's a veteran. He'll know how to protect his body and get it ready for this game. I think he plays tonight. Give me his over 9.5 points. It's my 5th and potentially final pick of the day. But like I said, we might add a play in the pinned comment. Check that out. It's a great Monday. Great start to a new week. Feeling really good about the card today. Let's dominate. If I do add a play, check that pinned comment. Let's have ourselves a day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.